Listen, the reason you keep going back is not because you're weak. It's because the new version of you feels unfamiliar. Hey, this is Karen Booth, the baggage handler, and welcome to Tea and Truth on this Thursday. I'm going to say it again. The reason that you keep going back is not because you're weak. It's because the new version of you feels unfamiliar. Y'all know I stay on this forgiveness train because for me, through forgiveness came confidence. Y'all tell me where you are, what's in your cup. So I am in Little Rock. And what is in my cup is my traditional mix of black tea, mint flavored black tea, peach tea, lemon ginger tea, some lemon juice, and some raw honey. I'm doing the most because I have to sing with the praise team tonight. And so I'm gonna say this one more time. The reason that you keep going back is not because you're weak. It's because the new version of you feels unfamiliar. And so we're talking about something that happens to almost everybody when they start changing. When you choose to forgive, when you choose to accept Romans 12:2, that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And you make up your mind, and you have your affirmations, and you're saying them, and you are meditating on the scriptures, and you are doing all the things that you need to do to make the change. Make sure that the change happens in you. You start feeling a bit uncomfortable. You start feeling a bit strange because your soul says, now your soul does a lot, right? Because the first issue that your soul was doing was trying to fix it when you didn't forgive the person, right? So your soul tried to fix it. It tried to protect you. It set up all these barriers. It set up all uh, these boundaries. It started doing all the things, right? It started making all these decisions. Hey, Sonia. It started making all these decisions. It started deciding that started assigning meaning to everything that happened. Yeah, your imagination started looking for the worst to happen and started doing all these things, and then you forgot. And then it said, "Who we can stand down now," right? But then what you did was decided, oh, I have listened to this baggage handler and I have decided that I'm going to change and I'm going to forgive and I'm going to stop protecting myself and I'm going to do some different type of things so that I don't be the person that's over here and I've got myself walled up because I'm protecting myself and I'm missing out on opportunities and I'm missing out on the life that God gave me. So then you say, I'm going to do the things that I need to do to shift how I think and shift how I act so I can get some different results. Now, guess what happens? Your soul is like, hey, well, hold it. Mm-mm. This is not what we meant for you to do. Because mind you, your spirit is perfect. It's your soul that's out here doing the most. And my thing came unplugged. Hold on. My computer unplugged. So your soul is out here saying, hey, wait a minute. This is not what we said to do. We said, give me some. The soul said, we as in the soul, the mind, the will, the emotions, the intellect, the imagination, your understanding. It said, hold on a minute. We we didn't ask you for all this. So now you're in the space of changing and evolving and growing, and your mindset is shifting, and you're realizing some different things about you. And your soul now says, we're not in a familiar place, so we don't like this. So it's your soul's job, if you will, to keep you safe. But your soul will typically interpret safety as the same thing. It will typically interpret safety as being in the same situation. So it goes back to what's familiar. You feel pulled toward what is familiar. If You have spent years, decades, maybe your whole entire life thinking one way, responding one way. So when you start doing something different, it does not feel normal. It feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel wrong if you don't understand what is happening. So then you start questioning yourself. Is this really me? Am I doing this right? Why does this feel so off? And before you realize it, you are back in that same cycle of sameness. Not because it's better, but it just feels all right, like an old comfortable shoe, like an old comfortable tennis shoe that is messing up your foot, but you like it because it fits perfectly. That is why consistency is difficult in the very beginning. You're trying to live a new way, but your mind, your emotions, your habits, they're used to the old way. You got your body and your nervous system trained one kind of way. And so it wants to stay wherever it is that you've been, even though that may not be a healthy spot. And it may feel better to just go back and do what you've been doing, but change is rarely ever comfortable. Even historically, change usually doesn't come without some kind of conflict or battle, right? So, again, the Bible says in Romans 12 and 2 that we are transformed by the renewing of our mind. That means change is not just something you decide, it's something you practice, it's something you repeat until it becomes your new normal. This scripture really stuck out to me. It says in Proverbs, 4th chapter, 26 to 27, to ponder the path of your feet and let your ways be established, not turning to the right nor to the left. That means pay attention to how you are moving now. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Michelle. Pay attention to the path that you are choosing, not just the decision you make. You have to make the decision, and then your actions have to match the decision. Change is not just what you decide, it's the path that you stay on. So when it feels unfamiliar, when you feel vulnerable, like when I was doing some changes, I promise I felt like I was walking around with no clothes on because it was not what I was doing was not anything like I had ever done before. So it just felt like I was just out here, just exposed. You know, I wasn't this, but it kind of felt like, I got this sign on me that says I'm a victim, but it's not that. But that's what it feels like, but it's not that, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Because you're not being a victim. Matter of fact, you're taking yourself out naked. Yes, you're taking yourself out of the space of a victim vibration. And because you've lived there in the space of survival, in the space of making it happen, in the space of you taking care of yourself instead of trusting God to take care of you, I mean, you feel like you just Lady Godiva out here on the horse. Look that reference up if you don't know who she is. That'll be your assignment for today. And so pay attention to how you're moving now. Pay attention to how change moves. Pay attention to the path that you are choosing and not the decision that you made alone. When it feels unfamiliar, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing different. And different is exactly what you need if you want a different result. What do we say insanity is? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? Well, we do the same thing over and over again because we think, well, if I do this same thing better, then I'll get a different result. No, you won't. You're going to get the same mess that you've been getting. Same mess. Maybe a better version of the mess, but the same mess. So doing the same thing better does not yield a better result. You have to do something different. And because you've done something different for so long, it feels goofy. Now, for instance, when I decided I was going to eat differently, um, I had to stop going and getting that Oreo blast from Sonic every day. When I tell you every day, I was in a space. I was in a space. So I was doing what I had decided because I was taking care of me. I was doing what I had decided was the thing that was going to make me feel better, right? And so every day it was either an Oreo. Now I get the mini, like I was doing something real great. I would get the mini size, the smallest one. I would go get me either an Oreo blast with extra cookies, or I would get me a chocolate shake, no whip. Look at me doing the y'all. When I tell you, I have made the decision. I'm going to. I'm because it was with Coach Sean Strickland. We were doing the Prosper Well challenge. I had to eat a whole different kind of way. And so the first day that I drove by that Sonic and didn't stop, baby, you would have thought that somebody said, Karen, you can't have no more water for the rest of your life. Well, that ends up in not a good situation. And so it was different and it felt wrong. It felt like I was depriving myself of something. It felt like I was doing myself an injustice. Hey, Kim Armstrong Franks, how are you? I drove by that song. I paused. I paused. Because I was like, do I really want to not have? Like I've earned this treat. Do I really want to not have it? Well, if I was going to stick to my decision, then I had to not have it. And it felt so wrong. Even though I was doing the right thing for me, I was doing the right thing to change my eating lifestyle so that I would not develop lifestyle diseases like high blood pressure, like diabetes, like whatever else is associated with eating all the wrong things every single day. Yes, I had developed a habit and it was not a good one. And so I wanted my soul was like, why are we not going to get our ice cream? My decision was like, we can't go get the ice cream. This is me talking to me. This is the craving going, why are we not going to Sonic? And this is me saying, I have to take care of my temple. But we like the ice cream. I do like the ice cream, but I'm going to have to go home and eat an apple. How many of y'all know that eating an apple did not feel the same way as eating that ice cream with them cookies in it? It did not feel right. It felt very unfamiliar, but I was not doing wrong. I needed a different result. I needed to fit in, I needed to not go up yet another size. Huh? I needed to not go up another size. I needed to stay the size I was and then turn the train around and go and get in a size that was smaller. So I had to stay with it long enough for it to become the natural thing for me to do. And I did do that. And then, when I went one day, and I did go to Sonic one day, and I was like, you know what, I think I want, some ice cream. And I couldn't eat it all. And I did get the mini, and I did get the extra cookie. But I couldn't eat it all because I had followed through on the decision that I had made to do something different. Because now healthy is the familiar thing for me. So now my snack that I eat more often than chips, I still eat chips. But the snack that I choose to eat more often than chips is either grapes or an apple or something like that because I've made a decision. We don't want you to go back to the person living in survival mode. We don't want you to keep picking back up the things that you have released. We don't want you to go back into being mad at what the person at the thing that you are mad at the person did to you. We don't want you to go back to that because if you go back into that space, then the wound is reopened and it's all the things. And That's not what we want. We want forgiveness to be the lifestyle that you adopt. We want healing to be, I wish I had my notebook today in my prayer time, it was all these healing scriptures that popped up because when I'm in my prayer study time, I listen to Dappy Keys piano worship, and he has a gajillion videos, but the one I'm listening to right now every morning is Promises of God. Okay? And so, Promises of God, one of them is health. And all these health scriptures started popping up on the screen. Jeremiah 30 and 17, he will restore your health and heal your wound. By his stripes we are healed. All the healing scriptures. And I was sitting there and I was looking, I was like, through all of this work that I have done, God has been the healer that I needed to get me to the place of having the confidence that I need to have to do the things that he has told me that I need to do. We'll just come on here every day and give y'all some nuggets of some things that are available to the believer through his word. Because we accept salvation, but then we negate and we just don't even bother with all the other promises that's in the Bible. Like good health, like prosperity, which is not just money, it is to flourish in every area of your life, to enjoy, to execute and enjoy the plans that he has for us, like Jeremiah 29 and 11 says. And so a lot of times we need help in those areas. I know I did. And so I am trying to help you stay with the change long enough for it to become your new normal. That is why I'm the baggage handler. I don't just get some bags and throw it over there like the people at when you're taking a trip. I help you put your baggage down. I don't throw it at you. I don't throw it. I don't snatch it from you. I don't. Mm-mm. I help you choose to put your baggage down, and I help you choose to walk away from it and leave it there, like that mini Oreo blast with extra cookies that I was getting every single day, every day, every day. So, for those of you that are on here, I don't know who you are because I don't see your names. But for those of you, we want to abracadabra the other blessing. But this is the thing is that what I am learning, what I continue to learn, Michelle, is that as you do the work, as you do the work, as you seek to become what God has called you to become, as you seek Him, like it's really real. It's really, really real that that the blessings of God, all these good things will be added to you. Let me tell you what one of the good things is. So I've been doing mindset work and soul work for the past 5 years now. 5 years. I got my certification to be a life coach last year. Got it last year. I continue to do the work. My confidence continued to build. I learned how to speak effectively, more effectively, because still got to do some more work. I learned how to speak effectively with my husband. So instead of sounding like, "Why you always gotta," I learned how to say, "When you do this, it presents to me as this." Because I'm not in your head with you. and and so I give him an example. I say, okay, like when you decided to do XYZ and you didn't particularly tell me your train of thought. I said, babe, it presents to me like this is going on because I don't have any evidence otherwise. And so when I said it like that, as opposed to why you always gotta do something and why I done told you that you need, because and this is why I say it presents to me as this, is because some communication experts will say, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. And I heard that and I was like, you don't control my emotions like that. Because you have control over how and what you choose to feel. You learned that in my class. And so when I realized that I don't have to let anybody make me feel a certain kind of way, I had to find some other words to say that, because it sounds like I'm giving away my power. And because forgiveness is a move that returns the power to you, forgiveness is a choice that says that this person is not, or this person or this action is not going to continue to impact how you feel. You then can't turn around and then say, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. No, 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 no. When you, I'm not even working on reading his mind. I got to read my own stuff. And so when I said, this is how this presents to me, it presents as if you do not care. It presents as if you forgot. It presents as if you have decided not to do what you told me you were going to do. And when I said that, he was like, I ain't forget. And so then he began to explain the reason why he did what he did. And because men are fixers, him fixing it for me so I would understand is easier for him to do than to try to answer something that sounds accusatory. So it helped me to fix what I say. When I walk through, let me make the connection. Let me see. You walk through forgiveness. Okay? You choose to forgive. You open the door for God to heal. Like he says in Exodus, oh God, 15 and 27, I am the God who heals. I think that's the one. But that's the whole verse. I am the God who heals. So you forgive, God heals. I know, Kim doing the most. You forgive, God heals you. And when he heals you, he doesn't heal you halfway. If you let him, he'll he'll heal the things that you have been carrying, that you have been protecting yourself from all the while. So then you get a Karen that says, when babe, when I see that this is what you're doing, it presents as you have forgotten. And then I will take action as if you have forgotten, which irritates him because he fusses at me for reclaiming something that he has said that he will do for me. So then when he says, "Oh, she's telling me that it looks like I've forgotten," and then he says, he gives me an explanation, and when I was like, wow, as opposed to self-protecting Karen, who was walking in unforgiveness, who was mad at the world for all the things that life had thrown at her. And she said, see, you're just like everybody else, and you done forgot. And girl, stop. Girl, stop. And so that's what coaching has done for me. That's what I can do for you. If you have something that you're carrying and you would like some help with forgiveness, with confidence, with anything that is keeping you from being all that you feel like you should be, if you feel like you're living below what God would have for you, if God wants you to have somewhere nice and comfortable and beautiful to live and good relationships, look around and see what your life is doing. and see, do you need somebody to just chit chat with you, as I said, to chit chat with you and give you some strategies. That's what I do. So if you have something like that, that is, not that you have a bad life, it's not that. Is that maybe you need some strategies. And so that's what I do. And that's why I come on here every day, to give you some information to help your life, and then to offer you the opportunity to do a deep dive in what may be troubling you in your soul. And so if that is you, then just put me in the comments, and I will send you the link to sign up for the special. I'm not even going to put the ad up. We're doing 45 minutes of one-on-one strategizing coaching for $30. If that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you might be interested in, let's schedule a time. Let us schedule a time. And you know what? I got to open some more time up on my schedule. Let's schedule a time where we can come together and talk, and let's keep you from going back. You see the title, I Won't Go Back. William McDowell had a thing. Don't go back to the familiar. Go forward. Thank you, Michelle. Go forward to where God would have you to be. Okay? And it goes the same for my replay crew. If you come back and watch it later, put me in the comments. I come back and check, and then I'll reach out to you and give you the link, and you can schedule a time to come to and it's by Zoom. It's by Zoom. So you don't have to leave. Excuse me. You don't have to leave the comfort of wherever you're comfortable at. You get a Zoom link, and you get me one on one and all this wonderful glory. All right. So that is it for today. Tomorrow is Freedom Friday. So come back tomorrow, same forgiveness time, same forgiveness channel, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'd love to bring your favorite beverage. We can have tea time together. Hmm. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.